Let me paint the picture for you. Today in Irvine, a serious investigation is underway after a racially motivated attack on a black student at UC Irvine. Police have opened a hate crime case and are asking for tips from anyone who saw what happened.
Leah here.
And I'm Garrett.
Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Irvine. First up, UC Irvine police are investigating a hate crime involving an attack on a black student by teenagers using e-bikes.
Here's where we start. On February 27th, at the Arroyo Vista housing area on campus, underage teenagers targeted a black student with racial slurs and a physical assault that involved e-bikes. One suspect was detained near the scene, and police are still looking for information on others who were involved. UC Irvine says it's committed to a safe and inclusive campus, and it's urging students and staff to report incidents tied to race, ethnicity, religion, gender, or sexual orientation. The Council on American Islamic Relations, a national civil rights and advocacy group also known as KR, condemned the attack. This is officially being investigated as a hate crime. In simple terms, that means a crime motivated by bias against a protected characteristic. Community support matters here. When witnesses speak up quickly, cases move faster, and it helps the victim and the wider campus address the harm. And not gonna lie, this also spotlights ongoing racial tensions that students have been talking about for a while. Transparency and follow-through will be key.
That's so wild. E-bikes are usually just a ride to class, and here they were turned into like a tool to hurt someone. Why e-bikes? I mean, I get that they're fast and, easy to get away on, but that's chilling. This really underlines the need for clear, effective safety measures. I'm talking simple, practical stuff. Quick reporting routes, visible patrols, consistent updates to the community. Real talk, a safe campus is one where people feel heard the minute something happens. Okay, let's move on. The debate over a mercy rule in Orange County high school baseball is heating up, and coaches are split on whether it should be mandatory. A mercy rule ends a game when one team leads by 10 runs after 5 innings. It's meant to prevent blowouts from dragging on. The National Federation of State High School Associations, the group that sets high school sports rules nationwide, makes the mercy rule optional, and the California Interscholastic Federation Southern Section, which governs much of Southern California high school sports, does not use a mercy rule in its playoffs. Cypress coach John Weber wants a mandatory mercy rule to avoid degrading experiences in lopsided games, while Santa Margarita coach Chris Malik argues longer games let more players get real varsity reps. Recent scores lit this up again. Santa Margarita 20-3 over Trabuco Hills and Cypress 17-1 over JSerra. The bigger picture is player welfare and what we think the educational value of sports should be: confidence, resilience, and learning under pressure.
All right, let's roll on. I'm for a mandatory mercy rule in the regular season. When a game gets way out of hand, it's tough to call that a positive learning moment. You're basically piling on. The disputed point is whether cutting it short hurts development or game integrity. I hear the concern, but you can still develop players without asking them to wear a 10-plus run deficit for 2 extra innings. Integrity, to me, also means respecting the losing team's effort and well-being. Playoffs can be a different conversation, but during the grind of the season, I think a clear stoppage point makes sense for everyone's headspace.
Why isn't it used in playoffs, though? Is it just tradition?
Typically, playoffs prioritize full-length games for competitive integrity. Every inning counts, and teams want the full chance to adjust. That's the usual reasoning, even if it makes for some long nights when the score gets lopsided. Next up, Rivian, the Irvine-based electric vehicle maker, announced its R2 midsize SUV with a starting price of $57,990 before shipping fees, with deliveries targeted for spring 2026. A more affordable version, planned to start under $50,000, is expected in late 2027. The R2 is aiming right at that rugged yet daily driver market. Think the space where brands like Jeep and Ford pull in buyers who want adventure style with family practicality. Rivian says the R2 clocks an estimated 330 miles on a charge and about 656 horsepower. Dual motor means two electric motors splitting the work across axles for traction and punch. Challenges are real here. Tariffs on imported parts and the drop-off in some regulatory credits, which are financial incentives tied to cleaner cars, have pushed up costs. The big question is whether the R2 can pull in both crossover shoppers and mainstream SUV buyers at this price point. If it does, that's a major step in Rivian's market expansion.
That price surprised me. Rivian's R1 models can push well past $100,000, so $57,990 is like a big reset. Still, it's above the average new car price, so buyers will expect real value, range that feels easy, room that works for families, and durability that matches the rugged look. Competition's fierce. If the R2 undercuts luxury crossovers but still drives like one, that could pull people from Jeep and Ford showrooms. Here's where it gets really interesting. A planned sub-$50,000 version in 2027 sets a clear target for a broader audience, and that's where expectations and reality are really going to meet. Switching gears just a little. Orange County is set for a big soccer weekend at the CIF State Boys Soccer Finals at Natomas High School in Sacramento. 3 local teams are in: University, Los Alamitos, and Mater Dei. University heads into Division 4 on a 10-game winning streak, facing Del Mar on Friday, March 13th. They've already beaten Granite Hills twice, including the Southern California Division 4 Regional Final on March 7th, which says a lot about form and confidence. On Saturday, March 14th, Los Alamitos meets Watsonville in Division 3. The Griffins advanced partly because an opponent had to forfeit games due to an ineligible player, which is when someone wasn't cleared to play under the rules. Also Saturday, Mater Dei plays Everett Alvarez in Division 1. Mater Dei won the Trinity League and the CIF Southern Section Open Division, which points to consistent high-level performance and strong coaching. This is the first season where CIF state championships follow the regional playoffs, and all matches stream on the NFHS Network, the online platform for high school sports broadcasts.
That's a curveball. Los Alamitos getting through after forfeits from an opponent. Eligibility rules exist to keep it fair, but when a bracket shifts like that, it can mess with momentum and morale. Still, you play the schedule in front of you. For University and Mater Dei, the story feels more straightforward. Big streaks, big stage. For Los Al, it's about turning that unusual path into fuel on game day. Last up, circling back to UC Irvine, police are investigating the February 27th attack at Arroyo Vista as a hate crime. Suspects are underage teens. One person was detained near the scene, and investigators are asking for tips on the others. The university has reaffirmed its commitment to safety and inclusivity, urging everyone to report bias-driven incidents right away. CIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations, condemned the attack, underscoring how community and advocacy groups can support victims and push for accountability. Broadly speaking, reporting matters. It documents patterns, it prompts resources, and it sends a signal that this is not tolerated.
This one really resonates with me. Keeping it real. The work doesn't end with an investigation announcement. It's dialogue plus action. Students need to feel safe walking home, going to practice, heading to study groups, all of it. Let's not let this one slide by. If you witness or experience something, report it. It's how a campus builds trust and follows through. Thanks for tuning in to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett in Irvine.
Stay informed and join us again tomorrow.